Hello and welcome back, and you've followed our first episode. We are talking about finding your true north, and if you've been watching the story that I've just shared, it is so magnificent and feels so great for one to discover their true north. I'm just sharing my personal story, and you can tell us, is there any incident in your life that triggered you to know what your true north is? What your real purpose that gives you joy, that gives you satisfaction is? So, as I promised, I said that when we come back for this episode, I'm going to be talking to you about the next steps that I took after discovering my true north. Of course, you've seen that I have already now started the program. I've taken the program to Africa. I'm sure some of you are wondering, was that successful? And the answer is yes. Is there any incident in your life that triggered you to know what your true north is? What your real purpose that gives you joy, that gives you satisfaction is? So, as I promised, I said that when we come back for this episode, I'm going to be talking to you about the next steps that I took after discovering my true north. Of course, you've seen that I have already now started the program. I've taken the program to Africa. I'm sure some of you are wondering, was that successful? And the answer is yes. We were able to use our Facebook platforms. We were able to use, paid promotions on social media and all that. We marketed, we did targeted marketing. So like on Facebook, we went deliberately first built our audience in an African way, such that we had people from Zambia, Namibia, all the countries that we wanted in sub-Saharan Africa to participate in our program. Then we created good graphics. Of course, during that time, there was not a lot of money. So we learned how to use softwares like Canva in designing posters, and we're able to design posters. I was able to have a small, compact team that was helping me to do this, and this team was drawn from different parts of the world, starting from our chairman, our board chair, Femi Okidore from Nigeria, and Sebastian and Paulina from Poland, but they live in the UK. We had people like Wali Sheikh supporting from Pakistan. We had James Lamota from Italy. We had Dhruva Devara from India. All of these guys, Rogerio Bo from Brazil, my friends, I love you so much, and thank you so much for having supported this dream. So we had all these guys. They were willing to come and share their knowledge. These people have attended the best film schools in the world, and we met with them courtesy of Cinema Damari Festival in Italy, which brings together filmmakers. You see what I'm saying? Like, when people come to school, they're not just coming to school, they're meeting, they continue working together, and that's beneficial. So to cut the long story short, we had a lot of applications. We were able to shortlist about 48 students from 8 African countries. We were able to get students from Tanzania, Kenya, Rwanda, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Namibia, Nigeria, and all these countries. We were able to get students, Angola. So we got students from 8 African countries, including Kenya, joining our classes. And actually, just to cut the long story short, they learned from 2020, that was from March 2020. They learned until June 2021, and they graduated on June 2021.
So everybody, I want you to put your hands up. Even those who are on Zoom, if you don't know, okay. So together we do like this. Together we do like, let's go. Go down, go up, down, up, down, up. And then I want you to do like this. Put one hand like this. The other hand. Don't hold like this. The other hand. And then I want you to jump it. One.
Having actually written and completed pre-production of a feature-length film of 140 minutes. Yay! I'm so proud of them. And I'm also so proud of that bold step. You know, once you know that these guys, they're in the program, my goal is to give them a voice. I have to give them the strongest voice. I have to bring them together and show them how powerful they are, how important their voice is, how they can use the tool of film to tell their story. So yeah, that happened and we graduated the students. We were able to graduate about 30 students on 2021 June, this year on June. We had a beautiful blended ceremony where the students from other countries were able to join us online, and the students from Kenya were on ground. We had food together and we enjoyed some good music together, and that was it. It was amazing just to be able to say, after 10 years of training people, filmmaking just in Kenya, and feeling so restricted by boundaries, we were able to break those boundaries through the online space, train these guys, make a very experiential curriculum, which was actually able to make you learn online, but you're doing some practicals, you're writing a script, you're doing a script breakdown, you're doing all that. And the climax of it all is that now we're in the fundraising stage for that feature film. And this year, 2022, when it begins, we are looking forward to shoot that movie. And so we give all the glory and honor to God for that, but we're so grateful that that step that you take with fear can take you to that, you know, next level and help you to not only be an agent of impact in Kenya, but in Africa and in the world, to bring the whole world together so that we can empower people to actually bring out their voices. So it gives me so much joy, that one achievement that we got. The other thing that I was able to do, now I understood. This is why in every space where I am at, you know, I always find myself trying to voice it out, trying to take it to social media, trying to create awareness. So what's another thing that happened? So the other thing that happened was, you know, I just imagined during the COVID-19 time, people are going through a lot. And so I approached the Ministry of Health and I told them, why can't we use audiovisual tools to empower communities? Why can't we use things like videos to show them how to protect themselves from COVID-19, or to just express the effect of COVID-19, so that it can be like a multi-stakeholder dialogue. And of course, with that, we were able to form the first ever Ministry of Health, Division of Health Promotion. We were able to form the Audiovisual Committee for Health Promotion. That was a first, and I was the chair lady, and we were able to bring many Kenyan creatives. And we hosted the Boresha Afya Jenga Jamii Film Festival. Although we were not able to do the awards, but we hosted the festival. We got lots of entries, and people submitted this work, and we uploaded the work on YouTube, and people were able to watch this messaging, and these productions were just spectacular. Because of COVID-19 protocols, we've not been able to do the awards yet because of bringing big gatherings up, but I'm really thankful and grateful that we're even able to, you know, show government how the audiovisual tool can be used for expressing. So that was another thing, again, that also brought artists who are really, and even showed me how passionate the Kenyan artists are towards these such causes, towards even contributing to reducing COVID-19 in Kenya. Again, that was something that was triggered by me realizing that despite being a filmmaker, I'm here to give a voice to the communities surrounding me, to encourage them to voice their stories, and that was so powerful. I could understand, why was I doing it? Why am I in the Ministry of Health? Then also, again, I realized there's another crop of young African leaders that I met through the wonderful program that I already talked about in episode 1. These are the Mandela Washington Fellows, the Yali RLC alumni, Regional Leadership Center alumni. I know them, I've met a couple of them, I've interacted with them. They're doing such such an amazing job in different countries. And I say, now that I've learned how to use this StreamYard app, why can't I, talk to some fellows and give them this idea that we can actually, have some dialogues happening online and involve the communities and share ideas about how we were all dealing with the COVID-19 situation, be it in entrepreneurship, be it in the psychosocial support, different angles of it. And we were actually able to team up with my very good friend, Winfred and Tinder. Big up, my dear. We teamed up and we formed a team and we said, let's do this. We started moderating. We got panelists from all African countries. We actually brought people practically from more than 40 African countries. Every episode was different. We talked about maternal health. We talked about different sorts of things, entrepreneurship in the midst of COVID-19, how people cope. It was called the Mandela Washington Fellowship Alumni COVID-19 Dialogues. And we did 15 episodes of this, which were very impactful, and we were able to reach a lot of people. Again, that is something that gives me satisfaction because it goes into my purpose, which is giving people a voice, and or projecting my voice, projecting other people's voice, giving ourselves a platform. The online space has given us this opportunity. Again, that was a box ticked. Again, we were able to do until towards when the president announced that we can now go back to work. So again, we kept people busy at home by educating them, using the internet as a tool for sharing, for benchmarking, for seeing how other companies were coping with the same pandemic. And I know a lot of impact was realized from this program. We brought greats, the likes of Shezi from South Africa, the likes of big innovators like Maurice Betsa. We were able to bring people even from the African Union, like people with different backgrounds, even in terms of matters governance and all that, and were able to interview them. All these are young African leaders, and these will be the leaders of tomorrow. And so it's so great, and I was so blown away by what came out of that. Again, that's because we dared to do this. Again, every time we are doing these things, it's a team of people that come together. They take the credit because you can initiate an idea, but if you don't have a strong team, the idea is not going to work. So again, I want to say big up to all the fellows who came through. Love you guys. Thank you for the support, and thank you for sharing your fire with the world. So that's project number 2. We're still going on. So that was done. And then now you realize even the government during that time was still thinking, okay, what can we do better? How can we teach film? How can we empower the youth? And so the Kenya Film Classification Board and the Kenya School of Government came up with the idea to come up with the Creative Arts Skills Development Program, which would be used to actually train the youth. And of course, I had a meeting with them, and I told them one of the gaps that I identified for a long time, being a film student myself, and then also being a trainer, is that we need a curricula that is practical driven. The best way for students to learn how to make a film or how to make a music video or how to dance is through practical curricula. So again, we were able to develop a curricula of the period of 1 year, which was actually approved by the Kenya School of Government, which ends up with the students making real life projects, making music, making, doing things, designing a film, shooting a film, and we're talking about a professional film, being trained by industry professionals. I was super proud again of that, and I was the chief consultant in that project, and of course other industry players played a major role in the development of this curricula that is now already a curriculum in the Kenya School of Government, which will live for many years to come. Again, this comes from when you understand your purpose. You stop working because how much are you paying me? You start working because you understand the impact that the work you're going to do, that you understand that the work you're doing is your assignment from God. And then you start doing it as such. You tell God, God, I know and I trust in you that you're going to provide everything I need to do this job, because out of the many people, why did you choose me to do this job? It's because it's one of the purpose God has made for you to do. I can't be you. I can't shine in the area where you shine in. You can't be me. You can't shine in the area where I'm good at. So we all complement one another and make the world a better place.